This is Richard Hanson here from Impact Presentations. Over the years I've used a number of presenter remotes, or clickers as they are commonly called, and a lot of them have their advantages and disadvantages. I have this one here from Targus which does everything, almost does a presentation for you, but if you have a look at the size of it, you almost need a truck to bring it into the room for you. I've used this one here. This is a little Logitech, great little presenter for most applications, but unfortunately I use a Mac and it didn't work for the builds. This particular model anyway didn't work for the builds on my Mac. And then I came across this little baby, the Honeywell RF Power Presenter. Now of course the idea of this video is not to review any particular brand or even model of any presenter. As we all know, they consistently change, and what I'm presenting you today, there may be another presenter out there right now that is even better than what I have got here. So the first criteria is that it must work. Now I know that sounds really ridiculous, but it is quite important. I do a lot of MC work, and quite often I want to control the computer from the back of the room. Oftentimes it is at the front, and so I want something that is powerful enough to do that. Now if you were presenting, say for example at a church from the front of the room, you will notice that in a lot of those venues the equipment is held at the back of the room, so you would also want something quite powerful. Now that may not be a big thing for you may not need the transmission to go so far. The other thing is, I not only want it to work with each transition, but I want it to work on each build within each slide, or each layer if you like within each slide. And the other thing I want it to do is to be able to activate a blank screen quite easily. The second criteria is that it must be simple. I like the plug and play version where they come with their own transmitter, so I don't have to go through any great setup to get them to work. So that's one of the simple things I require. The other thing is, if you notice with this one, it only has 3 buttons. It has a back button, a forward button, and also it has a little button for the laser pointer. The third criteria I have is that it must be small and comfortable to use. If you have a look at this one, it fits quite nicely inside the hand and is quite comfortable to use, and the buttons are big enough for me to easily just feel them and not have to look at my remote presenter all the time. Whereas if you compare it with this one, for example, it is huge, and of course it's got so many buttons on it, it's very difficult to know which one to press to know or to advance or go back on your slides. So that's basically it. That is the 3 criteria I have for a remote presenter. It must work, it must be simple, and it must be small and comfortable to use.